All right, we are back with another Two Tamers Talk. This studio is empty. Where are you at?
I'm back in California, back in San Jose. I didn't think I was going to be here so soon. I had a last minute work training kind of pop up. I know I talked about it last week, but it really was like, 2 weeks ago that they kind of told me to come down here. And, unfortunately, I don't really have the opportunity like I did last time to explore some of the locals. Like today was normally a day that Wednesdays down here, just like Wednesdays where you're at. I usually go play in the locals, but I've just been working late. So I unfortunately am being pretty boring out here. But tell me what I'm missing at home. I'm homesick.
You missed some locals, my guy. We had 15 tonight, so not the 18 we had the last couple of weeks, because obviously we're missing you. Yeah. But no, it was a lot of fun. We had great locals tonight. A lot of familiar faces. Man, it was things are getting kind of gritty. People are getting ready we have a couple people going to Nats coming up.
Awesome.
So they're playing the tryhards, the gritty, the sweaty, whatever descriptive word you want to use, use it for those. So we saw some Imperial Dramon. The deck that won last week got second this week. The Imperial Dramon
couldn't run it back.
No, close though. So he went up against. We had 2-3 Musk players tonight. They did really, really well. Very fun. I played against one of them. I went 2-2 tonight with Machine. Ran into some creative decks too. I mean, we had decks we had 2 Alphamons tonight. We had all kinds of just real sweaty decks, and we also had a lot of creative decks too. We had 2 Beelstars tonight. We had an Eosmon tonight, which I know you love.
Yes,
so we're gonna definitely get into that in a little bit with some of these alt art reveals.
In a little bit here, so that's going to be great.
Yeah. So no, we had a great locals tonight. So I went 2-2. I played against Eosmon with Machine and won. And then I played against one of the friends of the channel. He had a black blocker deck that he's been working on for
I love his
every set.
Every time
is like he's a kindred heart because he plays a lot of non-meta decks and Digimon decks that he loves. Like he also played the Wabbits deck. So I get matched up against him quite a bit, and we just had a great time. I mean, he played this black blocker deck, and he adopted some of the Zubagon stuff, and it was a lot of fun. But he schooled me 2-0. His deck plays that Bihumon or I
love
that card comes out of nowhere, and you're like, you have to deal with it. Yeah,
it's like the best card in his deck, right? Like obviously his whole deck is geared perfectly for the.
Well, Death X is the best card in his deck.
I mean. Yes,
the second best card in his deck. Yeah.
Right. So Bihumon is such a good card, and it's just perfect for that play style. And the way he has set up his ratios with his level 6s to be able to get the Bihumon when he needs to be able to just do devastating damage at the right moment, right? Because like I feel like I've tried to theory craft black blockers, and I'm just not as smart as him with this deck. And it's like his list is just so good. Yeah, I just love it.
It's really good. Especially like on Death X, against Death X, his deck like succeeds against that.
Yeah.
And then I played against Beelstar and got schooled. Okay. A couple of the games were close. We bricked. I think pretty much both games we had a rough start, and then it kind of came down to the end. But he got that. And then I went against Buddy of the Channel's Dragon Link's deck and beat that. So it was fun matchups tonight. We went 4 rounds and. Yeah, the other Beelstar player, the one that I didn't play, took it tonight. So,
got it. Okay.
Also, the player that usually plays like Ofani and Mass Day and stuff like that. So, purple, yellow, playing more purple and did really well. So, it was a lot of fun. Congrats to everyone. Thank you guys for playing. I love playing against everybody. Everyone had a good time.
I will see you guys next week.
Yes. I can't wait.
Working on some fun ideas for myself that I'm not ready to tell publicly yet.
I know.
You and I talked about.
I know what you're talking about. We're gonna play test the hell out of that.
Yes, we are.
It's gonna be spicy. Is that what you're gonna play at Mox?
I don't know if it's gonna be ready. That's the thing, man. It's like, especially with the way the meta changes. So those of you who don't know, Sunday, February 19th, 12:30 p.m., Springfield, Oregon, Mox Valley Games is doing a White Omni event that we are very excited about. We're going to be going and playing. So with BT11 coming, and the way the meta is going to shift and the way cards are going to interact with each other. Like, you really have to be careful with what black or gray is going to be giving, right? You can't just leave things on the board. You can't hard play bodies with black.
Yeah.
And, it's similar now, right? Like, black or gray will punish you for hard playing a level 5 if you brick. 100%. It'll just swing into it, just kill it. And you're like, well, I gave you 4 memory and you just wiped my board and you didn't even have to try hard. You didn't have to break a sweat. You didn't have to use an option. You already digivolved into your boss anyways. So it's like, I'm terrified of the BT11 meta. I'm very excited at the same time for new cards, for refreshing strategies, and just like fun new mechanics in general. Like for those of you who are not following the Digimon Facebook page or not like the actual official English version page, they do awesome card previews and they do cool breakdowns, right? So they did a breakdown today about the raid mechanic, that new keyword that's, I'm very excited for that. Like, so there's all sorts of cool things out there, and I don't know, man. I have no idea what I'm gonna play, but I think doing some soul searching recently, kind of figuring out what my play style is and what colors I have more of an affinity to, instead of just trying out every color. And I think I'm going to stick with my tried and true. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited. So we actually talked about it quite a bit tonight at Locals. There's a bunch of people going down to Mox Valley Games to play in that Winnegost Omni tournament.
To be like our scene, just like infiltrated their place.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna hand out. I got shirts. I mean, we got we're gonna go down there as a team. Yeah. We're gonna go down there and have a lot of fun. Yeah, no, they just came in today. So you're in a different state. You're a couple hundred miles away, a few hundred miles away. So when you get back, I got one for you. But we got shirts, hats. I got a play mat. We got stickers. We got all kinds of cool stuff coming.
Yeah, the playmat looks great. I think that was the most recent gameplay video.
Yeah.
So if you haven't checked out our gameplay videos, Jesse's doing a great job editing them, and we've had awesome participation with so far 3 members of our team, and we're actively looking to get more people to do gameplay right with us for this, right? Like,
and we got a few more in the can, so we got some more stuff we're gonna edit, and we're taking a lot of the comments and stuff seriously. We're trying to get it better and better and better. As far as just minor tweaks here and there every video. So we want to be as professional as possible and be as silly as possible at the same time. So
no, I mean, it's great. Like, just like since you and I are talking anyways, like this is one of the things that I was worried about, me being gone for a week, that not that we were going to run out of content. Like, I never think we're going to run out of content to put out for our fans and stuff. But like the amount of a backlog that we do have for recording, like we have 2-3 gameplay videos and a deck profile video, that you're about to edit and you're going to put in our normal scheduled release stuff, that by the time I get back, like I won't have to be like, oh crap, I got to get over to the studio and record 3 videos so that we were ready for next week. No, we have a little bit of a leeway so I can actively deck test this awesome new deck profile that you and I have been talking about. I'm very excited to share. And I don't even know. It was like a stroke of luck that this came, that I found this. So I'm excited. I'm excited for sure.
Yeah, you've been working on that. And I mean, we'll keep yours a little secret, but I've been working on Diaboromon. I know. It's like the serum.
Well, mine's not. Digimon is the best travel game. I'll say it every episode if I have to. Yeah. And Diaboro is a fun try.
Yeah.
And that's your mascot. I think that's the first deck you played when I met you.
That was my first love in this game, was the play style of Diaboromon.
You're not even into the lore. Like, you didn't you know what I'm saying? Like, this is nothing bad against you, obviously, but like, there's people who are Diaboromon fans because they love that villain.
Yeah.
They love the Digimon movie where Omnimon is just fighting the hordes of Diaboromon tokens. And you're just like, I just like Diaboromon. It's just, it's an awesome deck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love the artwork from day one, and so I was just always like, oh, that's a really cool playstyle. I mean, we just haven't had support since 2021. So
I just love token.
Yeah, the token stuff. I mean, I got some new metal tokens today, like some real fun stuff. The deck's not good yet. I mean, I play tested a bunch of it today at Locals before the tournament, and still working on it, but I think there's room to make it decent. And maybe competitive at some point. I know that in the next set, we get that Mamemon that plays Black Tamers for free. on play and when digivolving, so could be good.
Yeah, because it sucks when you're playing the Diaboromon deck and you're like, I could just get a Sonata. I could make my next move.
Yeah.
And so I think you've been doing a great job rectifying that issue.
The problem is like you have to get the Sonatas, right? Like if you don't get the Sonatas, there's not a backup tamer that's as good as the Sonata, because that is the key to the deck.
So hopefully we get, another Sonata in the future, or we get definitely more Diaboromon support. Like I know I always think about that one person who commented, shout out to you about your Diaboromon X playmat, because it's a cool playmat that you have and on one of our channels or one of our videos, and then let's get more X antibodies. Let's get more Diaboromon X. I made a joke in our gameplay video, like give me Raidenmon X, like even though that's not a thing.
And every set they start revealing, we're like, this is the set. This is the one. And it's not. But no, I'm excited about, like they said, that new Mamemon, because also the inheritable, when you play Digimon by an effect, you get to give one of your Digimon blocker until the end of opponent's next turn. So that also complements playing, the Diaboromons that generate tokens rather than just the EX1.
So you and I can be fighting over like that foil version of that, because BT11 is going to have both foil and non-foil of that Digimon.
No, I don't want to even talk about that. As a collector, that still upsets me. It's still annoying.
I think that Mamemon's going to happen. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I need it for Mamemon Tribe.
Yeah.
And you need it for Diaboromon.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to be fighting each other.
We'll get them all. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But anyways, so no, I'm still playing Machine for the Mox Valley tournament. You still haven't figured out what you're playing yet. You need to go see like a guru or like consult someone with tarot cards to tell you what you're playing.
I don't know. I'm usually the type of person that'll figure it out the night before or like 2 days before, and all of a sudden
I would figure it out a week before at least.
I mean, I agree. Like, I definitely need to figure it out a week before, but I just struggle, man. It's hard to pin down one deck for me.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is like the big thing that people are talking about is like, I'm going to try and find a way to either play Black War Gray, or I'm going to find a way to counter Black War Gray, right?
And that's how I feel, right? That's where I'm at, because obviously I love Black War Gray. He's a cool boss, bad looking dude, and the Black War Gray X stuff is really fun, and I've been having so much fun with my War Gray X decks lately. Even the Metal Garurumon deck that we also dropped a deck profile video for last week or the week before, I can't remember off the top of my head. Just the whole Digivolving with all these stacks. I love that. It's so much fun.
But what if you show up and nobody's actually playing Black War Gray?
Yeah. What happens if I go the opposite route, like you were just saying, where it's I made a deck to counter Black War Gray that's anti-meta, but just happens to shut off Black War Gray in the right way.
Then you run into 4 Dark Knightmon decks in a row.
I mean, Dark Knight deck. Okay. So let's talk about Dark Knight for a second, because I love the Dark Knight. Absolutely love the Dark Knight. I lost in our store championships in the final round to a great guy. Hopefully you're watching this with Dark Knight, and I think that video is also on our channel for the gameplay. And then every time I play against Dark Knight, it's always a terrifying matchup, one of the hardest matchups for sure. And I've spent a lot of time thinking how do you counter it? And I honestly, besides Digivolve
or Pamumon,
but a lot of times Digivolve won't even work if they're just hard playing the bodies. There's almost no counter to Dark Knight.
It's hard.
It's really hard, because it's you just delete their body, they'll just spawn out the 2 bodies, and then they can either grab the Dark Knight crash, or they could Digicross into another Dark Knight, or on play into a Dark Knight, or just
it's very versatile for sure.
Dark Knight is a killer. If for those of you who don't know what to play at your next locals, get all your Dark Knight stuff played. It's
and you got to learn how to play it first, because it is not an easy just pick it up and throw it down.
Go to locals blind. That's what locals for, is to learn how to play the game.
Well, I can't wait to go to that tournament. I mean, there's already people talking about all the things that they're going to do and play and what they think they're going to see. So, I mean, it's only 2 days after we get BT11. So I think that, I've seen on Discord, a lot of people are playing tabletop. A lot of people getting ready for it.
That's part of why I feel I'm not going to be successful, because I'm not active on tabletop. And I just, quite frankly, don't have the time to just jump on tabletop like I want to. And I'm like, what happens when I show up with black or gray? And I have the inferior build and I have the inferior way of playing it because of the fact that I'm not practicing a tabletop, right? So it's almost like maybe I should do something that's a little bit older that can counter black or I got a couple ideas.
Yeah. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a gang of us going down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we had some news this week, and I am excited to talk about it because we had this countdown, right? Like, I love the fact that Bandai does this kind of thing where they're just like, okay, well, we're going to put out a poll, and you're going to tell us what cards do you want to see? I love it. And they're just like, we're going to give you crazy good alt arts with texture and everything, but you need to give us your top 10 requests. I can't remember. How many did they ask you to put in? 3?
I want to say it was 2 or 3. Yeah, it was something like that.
So you basically, you're just like, and the qualifications were, was BT 1 through 4?
No, the qualifications were not BT 1 through BT 4. The only qualification that I specifically remember was it had to have been a card that does not have an alt.
Okay. Oh, right. Because I'm looking at the list now, and there's a couple that are newer. But yeah, so it didn't have an alt art, and it's a card that you voted for. So, and they took the top 10 and they hooked us up. And I think that these are coming out. BT 11 is like a second anniversary box topper, kind of like we got with the first BT 6. Yeah. We gave a couple of those away at locals today.
Yeah. So for those of you who are like curious about these polls, again, jump on Facebook. I think Twitter, if you're a Twitter user, or Instagram. Facebook's generally the social media platform that I use the most. But they actively post these links when there's polls.
Yeah.
Right. They'll say, hey, everybody, click on this link. Tell us what you think. It's usually like a Google form.
I think it's official Digimon TCG English version. So
yes.
Something like that.
Jump on that page. It's a great resource. It's just, it tells you what pricing is, cards that are coming out. They had a great, cool segment about the rulings and stuff like that. So it's and they post deck lists of winning tournaments. So it's an awesome feature. Definitely should be in your arsenal if you're not there. But I specifically remember these polls because I think I've done every poll and I can't remember what I voted for, because when this poll came out, you and I were not doing this shit. So next time the poll comes out, we might film us filling out these forms or take a screenshot of what we're putting so we can refer
see who makes it. Yeah. Who makes the cut? Because some of these just blew me away.
I do think one of these cards I did pick. I can't. I'll talk about it when the card is revealed. But I think you know which one I picked.
I think so too. So number 10. So 10 on the list was Seraphimon. And that was an early card, BT 1 or 2, right?
BT 1. It was the yellow super rare. That's the 3 to evolve. I think it's a 10K. You recover 1 when you digivolve, and then it's security attack +1 if you have 3 or more security. I actually really like this Seraphimon. Only thing I did like about it was the DP.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're no longer getting us level 6s with 10K DP with an effect.
Yeah.
Remember when Boncho Stingmon came out and it was a 9K? Yes, it obviously gained DP.
Yeah.
But, we're past the days of not having 11K minimum.
I mean, that could swing and hit a Cyberdramon now and die.
Exactly. So
10K level 5s. But yeah, no, it's a great card. I mean, as far as the texturing and the everything goes. Yeah, it's a beautiful card.
It's awesome.
But it's not a super usable card in today's format.
I see people voted for it because for those of you that want to play recovery decks, I feel like that's the first level 6 that you kind of gravitate for, until that Seraphimon promo kind of came out, because they both have one Digivolve and Recovery 1, but one has a tamer, the other one is just generic. So I get it. I like the card.
I'm not. If you're playing for that with level 6, you just put the Ophanimon in, right? Because then you just get a base recovery regardless.
It depends. If you like the 3 or 4 cost,
My point is just that it's not a super usable card in today's format. It's just like someone that's. I was surprised to see that at number 10. I was surprised to see a lot of these cards, to be honest with you. But
I always wonder if this Seraphimon in this poll, I wish I could remember when this poll was out. That's why it'll be good for the future to save the dates of these polls, because wasn't it around EX1 when we had that Yellow Angel archetype?
Yeah.
When that all of a sudden that started making like, oh wow, I can do a bunch of things with Yellow Angels, and then you wanted to play that surrounding. I can't remember.
I think so. But now we're getting into Jeff territory here because we're going number 9. We got Metal Tyrannomon.
So absolutely love the artwork of this card. It's the 2-cost Evo with a really good effect. It's an awesome Tyranno. I love Tyrannos. One of my favorite tribes. I just think that in a Tyrannomon deck, you're no longer going to use it.
I don't think so either.
It's unfortunate.
That was everyone's kind of comment at locals. They're like, "Oh, we love," because we have a lot of Tyranno. We have a couple Tyranno fans at locals, and they're like, "Oh, so we love the artwork, but I don't use that in my decks."
I saw a Facebook comment that just killed me when I saw it. It was like, right art, wrong card.
Yeah.
Wrong card, right art. I can't remember the exact comment, but it was like, man, that's perfect. Like the level 5 Tyranno from BT11 is what needed that all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, like the card's beautiful. It's an absolutely great card. Like I'm sure there's going to be some point where it has some sort of use, or if you're like me and you like playing 9 level 5s and you decide to play a one of, you know, because it's 2-cost Evo compared to the 4-cost Evo of the new one, right?
Yeah. So the next card is actually a card that is kind of a rebuttal on a comment I made in the last video, because in the last video I was talking about Chaosdramon. Or it wasn't in the last video. I think it was in one of the deck profile videos. We were talking about Chaosdramon. And I was like, I think this is like one of the first cards that could attack unsuspended Digimon.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Rust Tyrannomon, which is number 8.
Yeah, so again, this is a perfect example of like Tyrannomon has such a loyal fan base. Obviously, voted, top 7, top 9, top 8, 2 separate cards into this poll. People were like, we want more Tyranno stuff. And I feel like all the time, people who start the game start out building like a Rust Tyrannomon deck at some point. Everyone's done it at one point. They're like, I want to make Rust Tyranno work.
Because it can attack unsuspended. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got tons of cool ideas. Like in theory, like, why doesn't it work? Like what is it about this card that doesn't make this work? And we probably could have a whole other Two Tamers talk about why Rust Tyrannomon doesn't work. So I'm not going to get into that here. But
someone's in the comments typing right now. Like they're just angry.
Yeah, this is
like, I like dinosaurs.
I mean, I love dinosaurs too, man. I love the Rust Tyranno. And like for me, I remember when BT11 we were getting the reveals and we started getting the Tyrannomon like kind of hints, like, oh, there's gonna be more Tyrannos in this set, right? Yeah. I was like, you know what Tyrannos need is a green-red Rust Tyranno as a level 6. Not a green-black, but green-red. Like that's what I thought before, especially because we saw the green-red level 4, right? And we saw that option, the Headlong Rush or Buster Dive, whatever it's gonna be called.
You're forgetting about the best cyborg that Machine Dramon's ever gonna get.
But I think and I think that was that. This was like in my head before that Metal Tyrannomon was revealed.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, because I play red-based Tyranno. Red-based Tyrannos, in my opinion, is way better than green as of the way I've been constructing it, the way I've been playing it. And obviously with BT11, I think you will shift back to green. But, like a green-red level 6 for Rust Tyranno would be perfect. So anyways, great artwork for the Rust Tyranno. Again, that should have been the alt art for BT11, but I'm not gonna complain, man. It's a killer.
No, we'll get one and we'll look at it and we'll have a lot of fun with it. But it's like, is that gonna go in a deck?
I think both of these are gonna be perfect if you were like a graded collector or if you're like obsessed with, especially like if you play Digimon from like Little Tamagotchi or Digimon World 1 and you were really a big Tyrannomon fan back then, or even Digimon Survive and you happen to get Tyrannomon as your Digivolution choice. You might want to get that like graded.
Yeah.
And you might want to just like put it on your desk as a cool little trophy piece.
So at this point, I mean, because they released one every day. And so we're 3 days into this. And I remember like we have a little side group chat where we talk about things. And we got Discord, Wayward City Games. Jump in the Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Hang out with us. But everyone was kind of like, at this point, everyone was like borderline deflated because they're like, are they going to give us a playable card? Because we're 3 days into these cards that everyone voted for, and we're like, who's voting for these cards that don't actually get played? And then we were saved. Okay, we hit number 7, and it was the Gazimon. And everyone's like, finally, we have a memory denier that people play. And it's a playable card, so there's a reason to get 3 of, right?
So just off of what I remember out of the 10, this one might be my favorite. I might be wrong, and as we go up the list, like I know there's one.
Yeah,
I know there's one right that I joke about. But this is like legitimately because anybody who plays purple decks basically plays Gazi. Yeah. Either Psycho Gazi or a combination of them.
Yeah.
So like this is perfect for that deck because it needs some new staple level 3 with a better art. Right? Because especially because you leave it on the field, right? You're trying to stop your opponent from gaining them.
Yeah.
So it's like, screams like, give me an alt art.
It's also shiny, and it just screams kill me, which it already screamed by the effect.
Everybody who voted for Gazimon, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And then moving on, we got our next big reveal of HPD.
Yeah.
Which topic of hot debate around here.
Which is so funny because I feel like, okay, Joe, I love you, right? Like, and he's upset because Dido B is on, and I understand why he's upset. Okay, so the original artwork of the card is a great, cool picture of like Wormmon with the Sningmon. It kind of shows like Grand Quagamon in the background, right? Yeah. So like he's more attached to that Digivolution line, especially because he plays so much of those Digimon, right? Like that's his thing. And so then when it's like the artwork changed to a Dino Beamon, and which a lot of people say is a blue card, even though the first Dino B card was BT3 with green. I get it, right? So like that's his argument, and I understand where he's coming from, but freaking love this card. The texture's great. Like as a one of, again, thank you to everybody who voted for this, and I don't know why, but I feel like I voted for this as well as one of my cards because I was like, oh, it'd be great to have this as a restricted card. Just have a one blink out HPD because why not? I think that was the joke at the time, but no, I love this card. The artwork's killer.
I think this also got revealed very quickly. I think it was like 1 or 2 days after they revealed the fact that the reprint set was going to reprint the original in foil. So,
yeah,
we're good. We're good. I think everyone's happy. Like Joe, you get the foil version, and then we get to play with this one of. It's funny because these one ofs that are options, it's literally going to be on your field for like less than a turn, and it'll be in your trash and covered up by something else.
So. Which is great, right? Because like you and I both are on the same page where we don't want cards to be expensive.
Yeah.
So like, you want to play with some shiny cardboard, HPD is not going to be that expensive.
Yeah. That'll be good because you can only put one in your deck. There's no reason to buy a full playset, so that's not going to get a buyout. Unlike a card here and a few sets later that people are going to want a lot of. Then we have our faved and loved D Brigade players coming in hot, and they're like, we need a alternate art of the BT4 Commandramon. So that ranked number 5. So we're halfway through.
This was perfect. This is perfect. Like, I know it's the artist I don't like, but he killed it on this one, and the texture definitely helps. You know what I'm saying? But I love this card. Like it's the right Commandramon, right?
This is the one that they want to put on the field and they want to play because this is the one that just plays another one, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if that's going to be the most expensive right now out of all of them. Of these 10, right? But oh man, this one's killer. I love the little Commandramon line. I don't know. I'm a little partial, like obviously I like the whole D Brigade lineup, but like it takes me back to like my Navy days when I'd wear those blue camos, and he's sitting there in those blue camos too. So it's like he's my homie.
Yeah. No, I think we all had we had some interesting expectations for D Brigade going into BT10.
You're right. BT10, EX3, we were all thinking D Brigade was just going to be the big bad dude on the block, and
but people just really didn't feel the new Darktramon very much. They're just like, we'll pass. Yeah. We'll wait. Yeah. We'll get more support eventually. But for those loyal D Brigade players, I mean, that Commandramon is going to be a 4 of. I mean, it's a 4 of in every D Brigade deck. I mean, it is the heart and soul of the Commandramon line for them. It's the one that they always play, especially if you're playing Death X. That's the one that they lay down, right before the end of their turn. Yeah.
Yeah, and like when you do this poll, like they tell you specifically to use the card code number as well. So like you had to put BT4060, whatever. I'm just guessing. I don't know the exact
What if
number.
you nailed that? What if it is BT4060?
Actually, I'm gonna look this up right now. Let's just see while I'm talking.
I don't think it is.
It's like it's definitely in the 60s because I think the black is in the 60s. But
How do you
no,
know that?
anyways, because I don't know. I just know this game too well. I'm literally looking right now. Let's see. What was my actual point? Oh, yeah. Okay, so Commandermon, BT4063. I was three off. So I was super close.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be so good. People are gonna play the hell out of that.
Did I cut out? Did you hear me? Okay?
No, you're good. Yeah, technical glitches here, people. No, you're good. Well, now I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Did you hear me say what set it was or what number it was?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because that's the best part. I was like, that better. I swear, if Wi-Fi crapped out at the hotel right then when I was being ridiculous, but no, could you imagine if the Commandermon they gave us for the alt art was the starter deck, the 4 cost that is getting like phased out?
The one that I just bought for $4 on clearance.
Yeah. Because everyone used that Commandermon, and then that was the first one that they started to take out.
Yeah.
Once the X3 one came, right? So I mean, like obviously when you're doing that form, they have you type in what number. So like they specifically asked for that Seraphimon from BT1. They asked for this Commandermon for BT4. So I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it just goes to show like the loyal fan bases, whether it's the HPD or the Tyrannomons or the Seraphimons. And then the next one is even more like a loyal fan base that is still waiting for cards to support this. Is Hexablau finally got an alt art?
Yes, and it's an incredible alt art. Like
it's beautiful.
Like as far as like the actual art goes, this might be one of the best.
One of the best for sure.
It's really tough because the Commandermon, the color is killer on it. The HPD, the texture is amazing, but this Hexablau, like especially because you had like the before and after. So for those of you who didn't know what Hexablau looked like, who don't know, a lot about Digimon lore or whatever, this is a great way to see what this big bad dude looks like. Like, instead of just like a giant ice blob or a bunch of sharp icicles, he is like this cool, bad looking dude. So being able to see this in this light, but this is one of those
an honorable mention. I mean, I was expecting if we were going to get Hexablau, I was like, oh, the next one has to be Azulong, because I mean we're at number 4 right now. I was like, if people are playing Hexablau, they're playing Azulong, and as everyone knows, Azulong doesn't have an alter art either, but it also goes really well in the deck, but it's not in the list.
Well, Azulong, besides being one of my favorite holy beasts, even though like I love Zakaomon, right? But the thing is, everybody and yourself included, 2 episodes ago, what deck were you trying to build? You were trying to build Hexablau, right? Like everybody tries to build Hexablau. And back when it came out, BT5 era, like it was good, it was killer, but now it's no longer a thing that seems to work at this moment, right? Like you spent so much time, and I commend you for this, trying to make Hexablau work, right? And like everybody loves Hexablau. Everybody wants it to work. Everybody, like we had an awesome player at our scene that hasn't came back since Hexablau stopped being a thing.
Yeah.
Like that was his baby, and now he no longer plays, and it's like, man, yeah.
It was a cool play style, and it really shut things down because you can't attack or block. I mean, it was a cool thing, and it really disrupted a lot of like the Lord Knight stuff. And I think that's why a lot of people are loyal to it, because when Lord Knight was just dominating, like everything that Lord Knight played, like Bushy or Nightmon, stuff like that, just couldn't do anything. So it was a good counter to that. So I think a lot of people are loyal to it for that. But it's a really cool playstyle, and I think that the X antibody option really just destroyed it, because now there's so many decks that play that X antibody option that just stops everything from happening. But they try to give you like the Snow Agumons and a couple of the level 4s that de-digivolve it from the top Digivolution card, so you kind of get to skip that. You don't get the whiff from the X antibody option, but it's still really hard to build and be consistent, because it's really just about what kind of deck you're playing against. And the fact that so many decks with the X antibody, not the option, but the fact that they have like level 3 X antibodies, level 4 X antibodies, like the sources are just so vast that it's really hard to play that deck now because you're trashing one source per swing or, per Digivolve. Like it's not enough to make it a really valid.
Yeah, or like in theory, you would think against, especially because we were just talking about the terrifying reign of Black Warrior X coming out, where they're going to have those giant stacks that are going to prevent deletion due to having 2 of the same swords or whatever, right?
That 2 of the same level, yeah.
That this would be a good counter to be able to strip a lot of those sources out, but it's like when you don't A, get to pick the source, or B, you're like doing 1 at a time to a Greymon stack with 10 sources.
Yeah.
Like it's
there are a couple that let you pick the source, but it's very few and far between.
Yeah, I think for the future of that particular play style of source stripping, they are going to have to transition into you get to pick the source, which will be really cool. Be able to like go underneath your machine Dramon and what, get rid of that blocker, get rid of that reboot.
Yeah. So now we've landed. We're in the final 3. We're going bronze, silver, gold. So the bronze medal goes to your favorite. The one that I'm sure you voted for. The one I know I voted for. If you got to vote for 3, this was definitely your top one just for the memes.
I think this was a meme. I think this was a meme 100%.
Yeah. So Eosmon got number 3. The people really want to bling their 50 card deck out with.
I love this, guys.
The alt art's great. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's not terrible. I played against EOS tonight, and I'm just like, this is gonna be a total. Next time I play against this, it's probably gonna be against Jeff, and he's gonna have 50 of these goddamn things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Eosmon one is a crazy cool deck. I absolutely love it. For those of you who have seen him or been a part of our channel for a while, one of our first videos was purple base. And I'm a huge believer in purple base, just draws the cards you need in hand. And because the strength of that deck is being able to Digivolve into the levels, because that's where your removal is. Right. And
but only the first level 6. The other level 6 is not good.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other level 6, it's okay. But generally, the way I've constructed the deck, you just don't play it to save room or have additional level 5s. So you're drawing cards, you're getting your level 5s in the trash quicker than any other color base because you have like this memory boost. Or you could even. I was kind of thinking about maybe putting in like Sister Mom Block. That might be kind of interesting to try out in there. So I haven't decided for sure. But being able to get those EOS in trash and then Digivolve to the level 6 EOS, tuck, X amount, depending on how many Tamers are on board, deleting a body, right? Like that is just so powerful. That's the strength of the deck for sure. I absolutely love the deck, and I'm very excited to give us a new Eosmon deck profile video. I mean, I almost was going to do it with the EX3 because I was kind of thinking about putting Hina in the deck. I think she's a good tamer for EOS. But now I'm just going to have
hotly debated topic.
Yeah.
But no, I can't wait. I can't wait to see. I mean, we've already had some behind the scenes conversations about what we're going to do with this, but I think this is going to be one of those cards that is bought out quickly. It's going to be one of those ones that like, you're going to see it on TCG and it's going to go through the roof because you're going to have these people, as in that guy, that are willing to pay way too much to get to their 20 or 30 that they need for their deck. And then eventually, after a year, it'll start to kind of fall down. But this is going to be a fun one to watch on TCG Player. This is probably my favorite one out of the whole list, just because it's going to be fun to see how many local or like loyal EOS players there are that really want to like max rarity their EOS deck and just buy every single one of these out as soon as they hit TCG Player. Because it's only going to be the 1 in 10 chance per booster box.
That's insane. This could be the most expensive. Like it's like you said, the market watch is going to be insane.
It's going to be between this, the Commandramon, and the Ghazi. Even after looking at the other ones, maybe. I don't know. Depends what the next card does. So we're going to get into the silver medal, which is one that I didn't expect. I literally thought the top 2. I thought one of them was going to be Trump Sword because of the Beelstar support coming out. And Trump Sword is still used in a lot of those decks. Not all of them, but doesn't have an alt art. It's a popular 7 cost with those, but nope. Number 2 is Dorimon. So it is the egg.
That's right. I forgot that was. I almost thought that was a different pack.
No, so we have Alphamon support. So we got the Dorimon egg, which is probably going to tank those crazy pre-release prices that we saw.
Yeah, I got to sell my playset at a loss.
You don't even play Alphamon.
I know. I picked up all the Max Rarity stuff for it because I thought I was going to, and I just never did.
Yeah.
That's
no, I mean, Jacob's bag.
It's a good looking egg. It's a great looking card. It's definitely top tier artwork for sure. I mean, at this point, Bandai, just make every level 2 have an alt-art.
Yeah.
Like from now on, just there's just no excuse.
I remember watching those pre-release prices just climb and climb on that Diaboromon because that is the egg you use in Alphamon, and Alphamon is still strong, and it's only going to get better with this BT13 stuff.
Yeah, and even the BT13 Diaboromon is not better than this one.
No.
Like, this is the one to use.
You'll run 4 of this and probably 1 of that if you want to run 5 eggs.
I think Alpha probably mostly runs 4, but if you want to run 5,
yeah.
Or you're going to run 4 Jaeger-Sills.
There is that. So, I mean, we were looking at this and I was so excited for number 1. I was like, okay, we had some bangers like with the Hexablow, the Commandramon, the HPD, a lot of fan favorites. And then number 1 hit, and not going to lie, I was sincerely disappointed.
Disappointed? Okay.
I mean, I'm not a yellow hybrids player, but it was Zephyrmon.
Yeah.
I can't believe that this is the number 1 voted. Just being a big part of our locals and being a big part of the scene, I don't think there's any one of the 30-plus players that we play with here and there that was like, I really need a Zephyrmon alt-art.
I could think of one. But that's it. I can only think of one.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, Yellow Hybrids is a good deck. It did have a lot of popularity. Obviously, that's why they had to restrict Jet Sylphie.
Yeah.
To one. But this poll, I think, came out way before that restriction.
If this was Jet Sylphie, I would totally understand. Because you have like one killer, like, this is my hybrid that I'm going to Digivolve for 1 and recover. Yeah. So
it's a very interesting take there. And I don't know, maybe just Digimon fans have bad taste. I don't know what to say. I mean, they let Eosmon be in the top 3.
I can't wait to see that.
I only did 1 for him.
That's it. I mean, Zephyrmon took the cake. It won somehow. But that's it. It's a great art. I mean, I can't wait to see all these in person. The great thing is we have all these great videos that Bandai has finally learned that we're going to post pictures of these great alternate arts, but quality's in the texture. And so now they're like, we're going to get on Twitter and we're going to give you these little videos of a gloved hand giving you the texture with a little light source. So
Twitter, I'm going to have to make one just so I can start seeing it.
Yeah, I don't have one either. So maybe the channel needs a Twitter. If you guys think we need a Twitter, you're going to have to teach us old guys how to use it. And yeah. On that note, I did register our domain this week. We don't know what we're going to do with it yet. I'm not going to lie. I've made a couple websites for other projects and other things. But yeah, Digital Gate Studios is digitalgatestudios.com. Officially belongs to me and you, my friend.
Hey, cheers to that. Cheers to that.
The world is our oyster. I don't know what we're going to do with it.
It's our oysters. We got some good ideas, Brew, and I know you and I are talking about a fun little project idea. And it's always funny because we're always like, hey, what should we talk about this week? Just the topics keep coming. They're naturally there and things are flowing really well. So, and then, right around the corner, we're going to do our, pre-release is about to come out. Let's do a BT11 pre-release breakdown. BT11's out. Let's talk about what we thought about the first week of meta, So it's always a crazy time.
Yeah. Good stuff. I mean, we have that. And then, we've been watching these reveals as far as like, we got the alt arts. It's been kind of like a machine gun thing where we're just like, you get the RB1 alternate arts, and then you got the campaign rare with the voting and those reveals, and then all of a sudden you also have all these BT13 stuff that we were talking about last week. We've got a lot more BT13 stuff, and answered some of our questions from last week, but not all. We still have a lot of questions. We still have a lot of unanswered questions, but we did get to see, like, I think a big question was last week, what are they going to do with green in Royal Knights, right?
Well, I'm glad, because not only that, we had some great people in our comment section to tell us what they were going to, I had forgotten that they were going to talk about Digimon Savers all the Mirage Gagomon, Shine Greymon, which makes sense that we got that Agumon, right? And I should have put one and one together last week when we were talking about that in Rosemon.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're promised burst mode. So we're promised Rosemon burst mode, Ravemon burst mode, Mirage Gagomon burst mode, Shine Gray burst mode. Like, that's supposed to be in this set too. So that, for green, like you're talking about, right? Like, green's probably not going to get a Royal Knight unless Examon, right? Again.
Or that Rosemon, though, man, that Rosemon looks scary.
Well, it's exciting because it's like taking the game state, right? Because it has a very similar to effect, but better to the BT1 Rosemon, which was my wife's favorite card for so long. And now it's like you get a little bit more with it. It's a good Evo cost. It's not expensive, and
well, it doubles down on what green does well, and that's suspend your opponent's Digimon. So essentially, like with like Samadhi Santi and Flower Cannon, I mean that effect where when you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, like it just makes it just doubles down on how good that is.
Yeah, and it's an all turns ability. So if they swing with the body, they suspend something. Or, if they suspend a Tamer or a Cool Boy, right? They suspend something. So it's really nice. I'm excited for it for sure. And I'm excited to see the interaction with Rosemon Burst Mode to see how that's going to pair. And hopefully green's fun this set for sure.
Yeah. And then, I mean, we have blue-green because you just referenced that Agumon that we talked about last week and how strong it is. They also gave us a blue-green Dracomon that I feel is equally as strong and terrifying. I mean, it's still a 3-cost play. It still digivolves from the Baby Demon for free. And it's dual color. So it's like, it just makes that Megadeth as easy as you ever want it to be. As if you thought that blue-green Tamer was easy enough to play that Megadeth. Now you have a level 3 that is pretty much a normal cost to do that. And it supports all of the Examon stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a cool level 3. And it's nice that now we even have another Dracomon for the Examon deck, right? So now it's like, right? Because if you decide to run Red Eggs, if you decide to run the BT1 Baby Demon, right? Now you have enough Dracomons that can digivolve on top of that consistently. We don't have to worry about whiffing, right? Well, I guess 8 level 3s. Excuse me. I guess that's not enough yet, right? But it's like, because Examon gets piercings, right? So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited for the possibilities of the deck, and I mean, I'm always down for more blue-green level 3s. I'm just down for dual color level 3s in general. Really,
I'm curious to see if they make the new Examon, which we're obviously going to get some kind of new Examon.
Going to be another level 7. I almost think it's either going to be white or it's going to be blue-green, right? Because if they decide to do another Diaboromon Paladin mode, they can make Paladin mode blue-green and make the new Examon white, or they'll just stick with the same colors they've already been doing.
Right? Well, the set's going to have 2 slots for a secret rare. So I think it comes down to Examon, Omnimon,
Secrets,
Paladin mode, or like an Alphamon. Is Oryukin a Royal Knight?
I want to say yes, but I'm not.
I guess I could turn around and check. Hold on.
Yeah, that's your job. But I will say for my predictions with the secret, I think my prediction is that it's not going to be.
He is.
That it's going to be.
He has 3 traits. He's Royal Knight, X Antibody, and Holy Warrior, I want to say.
Yeah, I think almost every Royal Knight.
Yeah. So I think if you're looking at the 4 options that we've seen in the past, there's a lot of room for interpretation. I think Omnimon has to be one of the 2. Based on what the Gankumon card says.
I get that. But Omnimon X for BT10 was not a secret. It was just super rare, right? We haven't had a secret Omnimon in a while, right? They've been super rare. And I feel like they're going to take advantage of this set and give us either something super crazy from Digimon Sabers, or they're going to give us like the antagonist to the Royal Knights.
Oh, I like that.
Like what if it's Creepymon, I can't remember his level 7 form. Like super creepy mod or super mode or something. I can't remember, but he could be a level 7 equivalent, right? Like, I don't know, just something like that where like Royal Knights versus the Demon Lords. Maybe we get some crazy, or like Apocalypse, Belphegor, or something where it's just like some crazy. I remember what I was going to say. I can't remember the name. It's like it starts with an O or an A. It's a vowel of some sort, but it's like the DNA Digivolve of all 7 Demon Lords.
I'm looking at that mat right now with the big red thing, the big red dragon dude. Yeah.
Leviamon. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. But it's like Orgadamon or Arugadamon. I'm not gonna look it up right now. But the point is that could be. See, that's where I'm more leaning. I know where you're leaning.
He's gonna be like a protagonist and an antagonist for the two secrets.
No, I think the secrets are gonna be either both antagonists or it's gonna be something from Digimon Sabers and an antagonist. So it just depends on what other level 6s we get.
Gotcha.
You know, like I know they already. If they didn't already give us a Shine Gray Ruin mode set before, I would have said that. But
they did give us a new Kentorosmon.
They did.
As soon as they revealed that, and I knew they were gonna. I mean, obviously it's a Royal Knight, so I knew they were gonna reveal that. But as soon as I saw that, I went through my my collection. I was like, do I have all my Kudamon promos?
You're the one who gave advice last week on buying those.
I think those are good cards, man. Those are going to be really solid. Even in my Yellow Royal Knights deck from a few sets ago, I use those, and they're so good at recovering and adding cards back to your deck. And now you have twice as many. So there's a couple. There's still a couple Royal Knights. I'm curious.
Did you see that new mechanic?
Which one?
That is, since we're talking about the Kentorosmon line, we're talking about Kudamon, the level 4 Repamon, and the level 5. I always get the translation mixed up, but it's like Kiranmon, whatever it is. But the new mechanic, I think, is called Wall. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, yeah, go back and look at the reveals. But I guess they'll be right here because Jesse's going to do all the editing and put them here anyway.
He's adding more work for me because now I'm invested. Now I'm invested.
So the Wall mechanic is on these yellow guys, and these are all the Kentorosmon line. This is the tribe for Kentoros, right? But it says Wall, when this Digimon will be deleted, trash the top card of your security to prevent the deletion.
Ooh, okay. So it's like evade, but instead of suspending, you trash the security.
Yeah, or like Ordine. Ordine, where when it be deleted, you would trash the security, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that, right? So now we're having this whole new mechanic introduced into the Kentoros line, and it'd be interesting to see what the whole Kentoros deck does with that.
Well, and that goes with what we talked about last week, was with that Tamer. Remember, if you trash that Tamer, you get to play it.
Yeah, that makes sense, because a lot of people are like, oh, this is great for Pulsemon, which makes sense, right? Like you Pulsemon trashes your own security, or the original Mastermon from BT3 where you trash your security. Yeah. So now if you trash your security using this Wall mechanic, if you trash that Tamer, you can still get it. So be curious to see if we get an option that has that same text box. Or if you trash this, add it to hand instead or something. Yeah. Like they probably won't make it where if you trash it, activate it because that probably be too strong. But it'd be interesting to see what happens with this whole yellow stuff.
No, we were super stoked about all these yellow Royal Knights, and then all of a sudden, the internet broke, and everyone freaked out. And because they're like, we're gonna shake this cocktail, and then we're just gonna dump it out on the floor and be like, here's a purple Lord Nightmon. And you're just like, why? Well, what'd you do? It doesn't even digivolve on yellow.
I feel so stupid because I remember last week I was like, oh, they're not gonna give us a purple.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about it, I was like, well, if they do, it might be Dynasty, right? Like it'd be
which still might happen.
Still might happen, right? But I think at this point it's gonna be dual color or just yellow. Or because it's like they're probably gonna use the rest of purple for more Ravemon stuff. But no, this Lord Knight's purple. Just straight up purple.
Yeah. Can't do anything but purple. Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, it's a good.
It doesn't seem that strong though. And it returned stuff from trash, right? I think that was what it did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we're not going to know the full synergy of how this stuff works until we get all the card reveals. Because I think that, like, when we saw the Genku where it plays things from sources and stuff like that, like, I think there are a lot of secrets to still be revealed and a lot of mechanics and how this is going to flow. I mean, we haven't seen any tamers, we haven't seen any options yet. Like, there's a lot of things that Bandai's probably planned to make this a very competitive way to play the game. My favorite thing is the fact that all these on plays are also when digivolving so far, so that you can play them in different styles. You can play the Yggdrasil version if you want to, or you can take them and try and play it in the you can update your earlier decks if you want to with these new cards, except for Lord Nightmon, because they're like, screw you guys, we're not going to let you play another Lord Nightmon in a yellow Lord Nightmon deck.
So I wonder if we're going to get a purple knight, level 5.
Because purple yellow? How's
No,
yellow?
Because
it has to be a Nightmon. Yeah. You're right.
If they give us yellow, that would make the original Lord Nightmon too strong, because now it's got a full play set, or excuse me, a full 8 level 5 Nightmons that I could play when it swings.
Oh, you mean 12?
So I think Bandai knows what?
You mean 12? There's a black red it can play as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, but you're right. But there's a reason why Nightmon has not been yellow for a while, because they know if they did that, all of a sudden you can digivolve into these stacks. You have yellow for your level 5. You can
But with the power creep of the game so far, like, I don't think that that's going to break anything.
I understand what you're saying, but I think Bandai is just going to play it safe and not give us Nightmon and yellow for a while.
I know. Yeah. But the same thing with like Argomon and stuff like that. You're like, the power creep of the game has gotten so far where you're like, you can unrestrict some of these cards. I mean,
yes.
Just even playing against like Dragon Links tonight, I'm like, the way that the power creep is with the deletion and the on plays with the Hinas and stuff like that, I'm like, you could easily let green run rampant with. They're not going to outpace a lot of things because you can delete things in different colors in different ways. There's so much removal now in the game that it's not like one thing is going to completely run the game. You know?
Bandai only likes green when paired with blue. I mean, I'm sorry. To all the loyal green players I've watched you guys hurt for so long.
Well, Grandis is good.
They're not even hiding it anymore. Grandis is a red deck. I'm sorry. Grandis is a red deck. It is security tag plus Emilion and unsuspends, which is a blue element, and it gets piercing, which is red element first, basically, right? And then it's like, I mean, Bandai just doesn't like green. The fact that this Rosemon isn't even a super rare, and it's supposed to be like one of the main 3 protagonists of the Digimon Saver series, like,
Grandis is like, if you take away that one promo card, that deck just is not good.
I don't think it needs that anymore.
The one that the Digiverse one?
Ikuamon. You're talking about the Ikuamon.
No, I'm talking about the one that Digiburst and gives a security attack +1.
Oh yeah, the actual Grandis.
Yeah, you take that out. I mean, it's still good, but it's not like an OTK deck. It's one card away from not being a viable deck to win quickly.
Yes.
So yeah, BT13 is still a whirlwind. We're still waiting on a lot of reveals.
I thought we were gonna have more tonight. I definitely thought we were gonna have more tonight because last week we had so many.
Oh yeah, they dumped it on us last Wednesday. Well, because we got the Yggdrasil last week, so there was a whole format to talk about with the Yggdrasil.
Yes, but they also gave us Genku, the Alpha, the Yellow Tamer. They gave us so much at once. Whereas like this week, I'm like, I literally was just checking a couple minutes ago. Like, did I miss anything while we're sitting here talking?
Well, they gave us a lot of 3s and 4s that aren't that important. Like the new Kudamon's not that good. Yeah, I mean the Draco was the big thing that I thought was crazy.
Dracos.
So yeah, I mean we still have what Lord Knights we still have left to see. I guess
do the little texting again. So I'll Leopardmon, so I don't forget it this time. Dynasmon,
Examon,
Magnamon, and Examon, like you said.
Yeah. Is Paladin mode gonna be a Royal Knight?
That's a tough call. I feel like they might not have room for it. Like if they're talking about if they give us Alphamon or Weekend mode, level 7, Omnimon's a level 7, Paladinmon's a level 7.
Omnimon's another one.
Yeah, Omnimon's another Royal Knight that we haven't seen yet. And so if we have all these level 7s, like, I mean, what was it? Battle of Omni, the last time we got multiple level 7s like this in one set.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's doable. I get it. But, and Eximon's a level 7, so that would be 4 level 7s in one set, which is insane. And yeah, I mean, they could do it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm definitely curious. Definitely curious.
Yeah. Well, we get the Craniumon reveal too, which I don't remember specifically remember what it is.
I did not realize it got revealed. I need to look at this right now because I did not.
It's not as good. It's definitely not as good as the other Craniumon. It is still a blocker.
Ghost game stuff too. BT13 gave us ghost game stuff. That's so interesting. Okay, let's look at this Craniumon.
Normally we're a little bit more prepared, but Jeff's in another state, so you're gonna hang along with us while we do the research and we hang out.
Cranium. Oh, and okay, check this level 3 that we got for blue. The little the Kamemon is what his name is. I'm so excited we got him. He's just like a little stable. He's been in like every Digimon game, and I was like, how did we not get him until BT13? That's insane. Yeah, I still don't see this Cranium.
He's on there.
I believe you. I just don't see him. I don't know how to use Discord, so
it's a weird art. I can't scroll up because then you disappear.
I just don't see the Craniumon. Oh, there it is. There it is. Craniumon. Okay. There it is. Blocker. On play when Digivolving, he's not affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. So it's an upgraded version, right? Because it's not just straight up affected by effects. Oh, but it's only for that one turn.
Yeah.
Excuse me, your opponent's turn. End of opponent's turn. I like this. You may choose one of your opponent's Digimon. Your opponent attacks with the chosen Digimon. And he's a 13k blocker.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. That's cool. That's really nice. So he's a steep play cost, right? Which obviously Yggdrasil can get around. If you're not playing Yggdrasil and you need to hard drop it for 13, you have to have a memory center generally to get there. So that's rough.
But we're still not 100% on how this deck plays and how things swing and how things interact. So probably by the next video, I would imagine they're going to give us some kind of options or tamers or something that's going to explain how this works a little bit more. Because that Genku gives us a little bit of a hint in the fact that like it'll play one out from underneath the Yggdrasil as long as it's not itself or Omnimon, which leads me to believe that the Omnimon is really strong.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And probably not itself, because then it could just interweave itself and keep going.
This whole set's going to be insane. It's hard because it's like I need to stop thinking about BT13 and focus on BT11.
Yeah, you're talking like September, November next year.
I know it's not even going to matter. Yeah,
no, we'll be deep into the next football season by the time we get to see these cards. The way things are being released.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Yeah,
see us in the playoffs next year.
I don't know about that, but all right. Well, we talked a lot about all the reveals. So, I mean, you didn't play any locals down there, yeah?
Did not, no.
I played locals up here, so I have a card of the week that I chose off of my testing. Yes. Does that mean I go first? Because I think I always say I think you went first last week, but I have no idea.
You always say that too.
Yeah, so you go first. Fine. You go first off of what you think.
So like you were saying, I didn't get to play in locals. I really haven't been able to play this much. I was really hoping more people were going to play on Discord with me, but that's okay. I really wanted to give Green some justice because I know we just spent 30 minutes here talking crap about Green, but Green had some really good cards, and Green has had some staples from the very beginning.
Can I pause you right there?
Yes.
We had a Green deck that was our number one viewed deck of like the last 3 weeks. My Green deck. Yeah. So the Green Gotcha deck has done very well. Yeah.
He makes Green. That's how we feel. But my card is BT1 Mimi.
So good. So good.
It's getting reprinted in the reprint set. Now it's going to have 2 alt arts, a regular art, and a foil art of it. And it's crazy because we are so far into the game, and I have yet to see a Green Memory Tamer that really takes that place. Now, I've seen people start to use Davis in place of it because Davis can grab a green Digimon card. So if you want to search with that on play, it makes sense. But that Mimi is so good. And what made me really start thinking about this was thinking about our conversation last week with Yggdrasil effects not affecting the raising area.
I just
BT1
thought
Mimi.
about that, yeah.
Yeah, BT1 Mimi is literally like, you have a green level 5, suspend it, push out a Digimon from the raising area, and you can even swing with it. You know, like how many games have you lost because Mimi will suspend itself, push out an extra body, and swing?
It's like a rush. Yeah. It's like rush before rush was a thing.
Yeah, you didn't think, right? Because the game mechanics, if it comes out of raising area, it doesn't have summoning sickness, even though that's not the term in Digimon.
Yeah.
I get that. So BT1 Mimi, outstanding tamer, great card, good memory setter. I just love the card. I don't think it's going away, and yeah, that's my card. So I'm trying to give green some good juju.
Give it some love. That's a great tamer for sure. All right, that means I'm up next. So I've been doing some deck building. I think we talked about it last week or the week before, where we're just like, we have this gap, right, in between formats and sets. And it's pretty vast. I mean, I think it's made more vast by the fact that we keep getting all of these reveals. It's just like EX or BT12, EX4, and then RB1, and now we're already into BT13. It's just like boom, 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 boom. Meanwhile, over here in the States, we're like, we haven't had any new cards. Like, can we get some new cards? And so we're like in this lull that we anticipated, right? After that EX3, like 3-week gap that we had, where we're just like, oh my God, wallet fatigue, blah, blah, blah. And now we're deep into this crevice of format stagnus. I mean, the good thing is there's not like one form, or there's not one deck profile that's really just like running rampant and being crazy, at least in our meta. So it's not as bad as what we went through with BT7, where it was just like, if you bring blue hybrids, you're gonna not make any friends, but you're gonna win, you know, that kind of thing. So in that lull, I've been having a lot of fun deck building, and I kind of got challenged by Jeff and some friends, and I'm trying to make Diaboromon great again. And if I could have a hat, that's what I would be. You know, I don't subscribe to any politics, but I'm trying to make Diaboromon great again.
It's not a political statement. Yeah.
So I think I don't know how many sports fans we have, but I know Diaboromon has a lot of fans. I mean, I've made custom mats, custom sleeves. I've been trying to make this deck. I love this deck, and I love I don't even know about the lore, but I love the visualizations. I love the artwork, and I've always loved the play style of the deck. And I feel like there's a lot of fans out there, and I feel like I was telling Jeff, I don't know how many sports fans there are, but I feel like Diaboromon fans are let down more than like Dallas Cowboy fans. It's just like you get to the playoffs and then you just lose first round like almost every year.
That's the thing, though. You're not even teased anymore at Diaboromon. You know, you got teased in X1 and that's it. You know, it's like the last time you got a Diaboromon card before the Cowboys have won a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? And you'll probably get a Diaboromon card before they win their next playoff.
And Bandai keeps poking us. They're like, we're gonna give you these cool alt arts or these event pack cards.
Yes.
And they're like the worst support cards for Diaboromon, or they're like, here's the OTK one, like it's a good one, but you only run one of in the deck. But regardless, so I've been messing with this deck. I'm gonna try and make it good. I think the key is to search out, because you only get 4 of that tamer. So long story long, Monodramon EX2. It's level 3. I think this is a good pairing for that BT5 Caramon. So the BT5 Caramon that lets you search for an unidentified and a Sonata, which is what the deck needs. This is a good counterpart to it. So if you can't have 8 of a good tamer, you can at least have 8 of a good search card. So, and it's only going to get a little bit better with the Mame that comes out. We get to actually play that Sonata for free on play or when digivolving. But this Monodramon, I think, is kind of the linchpin that lets you kind of make the deck workable again. I still haven't cracked the code. There's still some changes I want to make, so don't get me wrong. Like, if you're like, oh, that deck's never going to work, maybe it won't. But this is a card that I've had a lot of fun with, and it's let me search out a lot of tamers in this deck that I've been pretty passionate about building and getting off the ground. So if I can make it win and do well, you guys are going to see the profile, and this card is definitely going to be in it.
I think we're going to need to see the profile whether or not it's Or at least we'll have to do games.
You'll see it. It's not going to win locals until I crack that code, but we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun. But yeah, man, I can't wait till you come back and we can get some more gameplay videos going. Once again, we've made some upgrades in the studio. So we have some good 4K cameras for some deck profile videos and some gameplay videos.
Yeah. I'm like trying to figure out where I need to point because it's like backwards.
Yeah.
With the way the mirror of the since I'm traveling.
Now we're stoked.
Yeah.
We're always trying to get better. So we have some new camera angles. We got some new so the gameplay videos are going to be both top down. So we're just messing with some lighting stuff right now. If anyone's curious about how things are going or what we're planning on doing, feel free to reach out to us in Discord or in the comments. And we're going to have an email soon, probably by next week, that you guys can reach out to, send some comments, Q&A, some good stuff. We're going to have some, we have a lot of things on the way. We're always trying to get bigger, better. Got some merch. I got a shirt. Got hats, stickers, all that good stuff. Once again, shameless plug. If you guys want to hang out with us in less than a month, Mox Valley Games, Springfield, Oregon. We're going to be on there for the Ghost Omni event, February 19th at 12:30 p.m. Jeff,
it'll be fun.
Come home because this is a lot easier to set up when you're right there.
Funny because by the time people watch this video, I'm basically going to be on a plane back.
Okay.
We're recording this Wednesday night. It gets released Friday, and my flight is Friday at like 5. So it's like by the time people watch this, I'll be back home.
All right, guys. Well, that's episode 21 in the books. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you at 22.
22. 22. Yeah.